दर्शकवृन्द नमस्कार। आज हामी लुम्बिनी टेलिभिजनको स्टुडियोमा स्वागत गर्दैछौँ। रोटरी साहेब अल अवर उहाँ युनाइटेड स्टेट्स अफ अमेरिकाबाट आउनु भएको छ र उहाँ रोटरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट 5330 का इमिडिएट पास्ट गभर्नर हुनुहुन्छ। वेलकम टु स्टुडियो अफ लुम्बिनी कम्युनिटी टेलिभिजन।
Thank you.
Good evening.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Awar, how long have you been in Nepal?
We've been in Nepal for 2 weeks right
2 weeks
now.
now. Tell me something about yourself. Where and how have you been all these years?
Well, I'm an investor, private investor in the United States, and God has been good to me. And I joined Rotary about 17 years ago.
Okay.
And that's when all my life has changed because of the great, kind people that in Rotary. And I consider myself one of the biggest beneficiaries of Rotary because of the life that I live. And because of the people that I get introduced around the world, like yourself, like all the Rotarians in Nepal. I will never probably be here if it wasn't for Rotary International. I will never be here in India.
Well, I was a bit inquisitive. What made you join Rotary?
Actually, if I will tell you the truth, you will laugh because I thought it's a driving club because of the wheel.
Okay.
But after I joined Rotary and I started knowing what Rotary is, because Rotary in my life, it's something I did not know about, I did not understand. But I lived in real poverty in Lebanon. I was born in real poverty in Lebanon. And when I understood what Rotary is about, it just brought memory to my heart and to my mind of my childhood. And my childhood was poor enough that when I know what the Rotarians do, I thought that's a great organization that will save lives and change the lives of other people in the world. And I wish I have got introduced to Rotary
Now,
long time.
just to interrupt you, now that you say that you know much about Rotary, tell us something about Rotary, about its inception, what does Rotary stand for, and what has Rotary been doing for all these years?
Well, Rotary has got established around 1905 by Paul Harris' father, Paul Harris, and it started as Rotarian will meet and rotate from one business to another. And ironic enough that the first project that the Rotarian have done was in Chicago. It was toilets.
Toilets?
Toilets.
Okay.
That's the first project, and it got spread all over the places because of the concept of Rotary, and it's acceptable around the world. And now we have over 35,240 clubs around the world in over 200 countries, and we have 537 districts in the world. And we are over 1.2 million people to 1,228,000. We are actually at the beginning of this year. Rotarians have increased to a number which exceeded the number that the highest number that we were in 2002. And also, the significant thing about Rotary is not only the organization of what we do and what we believe in. We believe in the four we test to begin with. All the Rotarians do, of the things we say, think or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? With goodwill and better friendship, and will be beneficial to all concerned. And these aspects of Rotarian alone tells you what kind of person the Rotarians are. But the significant thing is our foundation, and what our foundation has done around the world. We have exceeded our goal, which was supposed to be in 2017, of over $1 billion for the foundation. And our foundation serves humanity all over the world. It is one of the top 5 foundations in the world. And the unique things about our foundation is supported by the Rotarian, and also the money is spent also by the Rotarian on different projects around the world. And if you look at the concept of Rotary, you can see that all the money that the Rotarians donate to the foundation, it comes back to them in a district designated funds, half of it, and then half of it is in Rotary International, but you can match your money with that money. So 100% of all the Rotarians will do, except for the some administration fees that started recently, I think 3% or 5%, comes back to the Rotarians. So if you look around the world, and other organizations that works around the world, there isn't any organization that gives back the money completely back to the Rotarian to spend on projects in your community and internationally.
Well, just to build up on that, there's a widespread belief that Rotary is touted as an organization or institution of well-being and affluent people. Like, is there any mechanism or any modality in Rotary wherein financially deprived people of the society who can work on the ground, who's got great ideas, great projects that can change people's life, get recognition in Rotary, can be the member of Rotary without having any financial background?
Well, the Rotary, is not for everybody, but also, but Rotary will benefit everybody. So if we look at Rotary in the different regions in the world, in this region of the world, you have to be a distinguished, and it's a privilege for you to join Rotary. You've got to be somebody of money or position or whatever. But if you look at it in the Western Hemisphere, if you don't have the money, and you cannot afford to give so much money, as long as a person can afford to give kindness, service, when human beings are capable of producing, unlimited amount of kindness and love. And that's what the Rotarians are. So, yes, some people are capable of giving certain amount of money, and that's what foundation asks you to do. I mean, they ask you to give at least minimum of $100 a year for the foundation. So if you cannot give thousands of dollars, you can give $100. And if you cannot even give $100, you don't have to give $100. All you have to do is be acceptable in the club that you join, and be helpful in the club you join. And Rotary really, if you look at the concept, all you have to do is pay your dues, be in a good standing, and also attend your meetings over 50%. And now it's even changing right now, because they are allowing the clubs to do whatever they need to do, and because every club is autonomous in the world, so they will do whatever they want to do as long as they serve the community and they serve the world. And if you look at it this way, like the world is small anymore, it's not that big. And a lot of people in Rotary, they think, sometimes in the Western Hemisphere, they look at it, if I send my money to another community in the world, then I'm sending the money out. Some of those clubs, they will not understand the depth of Rotary, because what is international to me in Nepal is community in Nepal.
That's local to them.
And vice versa. And the Rotarian believe that we have no borders. Giving kindness and service has no borders. So our service has no borders. So and that's where Rotary is just, join us all together and make us equal.
From what you've told me right now, Rotary is around about, say, about 110 years old now, and you've got only 1.2 million members in the Rotary. Don't you find that number is a bit less, considering the history of the Rotary?
You mean, is it less number?
Yeah, the number is less considering the fact that it's been 110 years that the Rotary has been founded.
Well, here's the biggest issue that we have in Rotary. is when you bring a Rotarian into your club, it is your duty, it's my duty, it's the president's duty and every member to make that member a Rotarian, not a member. Because if you count members in the club, it's just like you're just ordinary people. But if you make them understand what Rotary is, then they will stay in Rotary. Because Rotary life is just something that you have to love it, you have to believe in it, and also we have to be kind to our Rotarians. See, I've seen clubs do different things in their dealing with their members. But I ask our members in our district to do 3 things in their year. First, acknowledge everyone. Second, encourage everyone. And third, thank everyone. And by doing that, you are empowering those Rotarians to do more in their community and around the world, and also to contribute to our foundation. So the number, if it goes up or down, it depends on us, on every one of us, how we're going to deal with each other. And because dealing with most of the Rotarians have shifted away from Rotary because of friendly fire. What's friendly fire? What I mean by friendly fire is that Rotarian have always, some of them has conflict. As long as we put our selfish self outside the club, and you step into the club, and you make that meeting a meaningful meeting, service meeting, a fun meeting, the people will look forward always to come to that club and join that club. We have one of our members, and he got so old. His name is David Coleman. He got so old in Rotary that they have to put him in a home. And our club decided, if he's in a home, if he cannot come to the club, we will take the club to him.
Okay.
So we will go and have our meeting at his convalescent home. But always David Coleman, he was the kindest man. He would say, I hope God will give me the strength to walk into my club one more time. You see, people like David Coleman, they believe in Rotary. They lived all their life with those people. So they have their friends, their family, everything they believe in, or everything goes around their life becomes around what they do in Rotary. And that's why he's just asking God to debate him well enough to walk in one more time into his meeting. So do you have that kind of club that people will really just, wish that they can walk into that club one more time? And that's where some of our clubs are failing.
Well, just to take up from what you told me right now, you told me that there are people who have veered away from Rotary because of mutual conflicts.
Correct.
They moved away from Rotary.
Most of it.
So can you put it this way that, because Rotary is an institution of, rich and affluent who can contribute to Rotary, in turn that contribution goes to the society, for the well-being of the society. The people, they want higher recognition in Rotary because of their financial influence, and when they don't get that high recognition, they kind of have a conflict and then move away from the Rotary.
Well,
is that
you
the way to
see,
put it?
if you join Rotary and your expectation from Rotary is so high, you have to balance it after a while. If you join for the money situation, or you gave so much money for the Rotary, and you expect some kind of influence and stuff, I don't think that's a good Rotary thinking. You see, we only differ from each other of the degree of service we give.
Great.
Not only the money situation. The money situation, you might afford $10. I might afford $400. But that's what I afford. And that's what I feel good about giving. You see, we have a group there.